From the Steuber Classic in West Palm Beach at the National Croquet Center, February 2022. We have some first and second flight material because we've had requests for that. We've already posted the final and semifinal and championship flight from this tournament. This is Kat Robertson playing blue and black. She has a 6 handicap. She's taking on Larry Lynch, who play red and yellow, whose handicap is 4.5. I don't think either of these players belongs in second flight, but the Steuber must have been so heavily subscribed that they got pushed down. Your videographer is Paul Newbecker. He's set up on the west boundary of Court 10, a little south of Hoop 2. That's Summit Boulevard over on the other side of that hedge, so you'll hear some testosterone-fueled driving sounds from over there. When Kat came in with blue, she could have set up at Hoop 2. The first ball through can always do that, hoping that somebody will have a mishap at Hoop 1. And then she put the blue ball on the boundary next to Hoop 2. That doesn't happen much in championship flight because attacking is the name of the game, and the blue ball tends to go in corner 1 or corner 4. Now, if you're going to join up, then black goes where she put it, because if red and yellow join up, you're going to have to attack, or they're going to attack you. He's reluctant to join up because she has a rush to red. But in putting yellow so close to Hoop 2, he's inviting a croquet out. I guarantee you that Randy Cardo would now, in response to this, roquet black with blue, send black to yellow, and hide blue behind Hoop 2, giving black a 3-ball break. Croquet out's not so popular in first and second flight because it, by definition, entails partner deadness, but it's a powerful tool. She's setting up blue for an attack on red and yellow after black makes Hoop 2. She really has no choice because she can't leave blue there with red and yellow so close and ready to pounce. There's no way she belongs in second flight. Okay, she could work on her concentration, but she still doesn't belong in second flight. Standard deadness board with the addition of clip position in column 2. We'll add other goodies as we go along if they get far enough. when you're thinking in terms of all-around breaks, you tend to try to pick up the spent ball as soon as possible because that's the ball your partner is going to need when you do a leave at the end of your break. Larry's going to do it after hoop 2, so he sends out the hoop 3 pioneer now. We'll make hoop 2 off blue and then probably send blue to hoop 4, picking up black as the pivot ball in the process. They both need to work on their concentration. Sets up yellow nicely for the rush back down court. But here's where Danny Honeycutt's rule about rushing to the approach line becomes operative. All she should be thinking about is how to get blue behind black with a good rush toward red in hoop 3. She should tap yellow, do a stop shot, putting yellow anywhere out in the middle of the court, and then have a much better chance of getting blue behind black. But her second bowl of Wheaties this morning sends yellow so far down court that now the only way to get that rush that she wanted is with a long takeoff perpendicular to the line she wants to stop on. She's made it unnecessarily hard on herself. That's not optimal, but it's not terrible either. She now could easily send black to hoop 4 and have her 4-ball break if she wanted. But because black is for hoop 3, she's going to focus on making a couple of hoops instead. How did she talk him into doing that? I know. She doesn't have any pockets, so she doesn't have any ball markers on her. But come to think of it, I would have been happy to do it for her too. Red plays next. What she should do is rotate red a long way away and then maybe get in front of the hoop, maybe not. This is risky. Unless she can shoot like that. Red is for hoop 2, so she could probably just send blue back to black at hoop 3 now and get away with it. And of course that's even better because now she can set up a 3-ball break for black.
Okay.
But she needs to reserve those gentle roquets for partner balls or opponent balls that are dead on her. You shoot at an opponent ball that's live on you, you need to make sure you're going to get out of bounds if you miss.
So I won this morning, so it's 5-1. How's that?
She's going to hit a standard drive shot, which will be about a quarter roll for her. A nice big split would have worked just as well for yellow and enabled her to have better control over where to put blue, maybe even wired from red behind hoop 4.
That's good.
Larry's acting like he's playing Sharif here. He's not shooting at blue, maybe for fear that she'll pick him up off the east boundary on her way to 4. He's not going to set up in front of 2 for fear that she'll make 5 hoops and make a 4-ball break out of it at 1 back. He's getting out of bounds, which is what he should do against Matthew or Stephen Morgan or Stuart Lawrence or Sharif. Larry Lynch does not belong in second flight. She's going to stand up and hit a nice drive shot approach to this hoop, exactly the way it's done in championship flight. Never mind that she missed the hoop. That drive shot approach is a habit to be learned early. I don't know what he's thinking, but if she has a hoop shot, then he might put yellow out of bounds next to red. If not, he can set up yellow, giving red a rush to hoop 2. He's going to go back and check again to make sure black can't shoot at yellow and red over on the west boundary. The only way she would do that is if he gave him a perfect double target, and even that would be a very long shot. Very nice touch. When she gets to championship flight, she won't do this anymore. Carefully scopes out the dolly rush she has to hoop 2, knows that her partner ball is at hoop 3, and yet she does this. Is it hubris, chutzpah, or complete freedom from self-doubt? He's setting up a pretty thin takeoff. So he must be planning to try to make 3 and 4 and then send blue back to yellow. Also, he probably has the feeling that the thin takeoff will make it easier to get a good shot on black, which is hiding behind the hoop a little bit. This doesn't come up in second flight very often, but good players are said to have an obligation to entertain us. Sharif's a good example of that. His first choice is to shoot at blue. His second choice, which is no choice, is to set up in front of the hoop, but then black just comes to blue and blue has a ball-to-ball break. His distant third choice is shoot the hoop. If you make it, you're a hero. But if you bounce off, then black comes to blue, and blue has a ball-to-ball break.
Nice shot, Larry. Very nice.
I'm going to go with Born Entertainer. It's a good spot for blue if you're trying to run a 2-ball break.
Yeah. Okay.
Or send blue to your partner. And still be in position to set up for hoop 5 with red.
Yes. Yeah. Just made the wicket, so it's clean. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yes, blue play.
An aggressive play by yellow here would be to roquet blue, put it on the other side of hoop 2, make 2 with yellow, and then rush blue to black in corner 3 to get something going for red. But that's a lot of work. Blue's the danger ball. What he's doing is probably the right thing, especially in this game. Of course, if he had thought all that out before he sent blue to yellow, he could have made a couple more hoops with red. He's going to take the free shot with yellow and blue and black on the boundary because they're both dead on him. It's not going to do him much good, though, because they'll have time to get out of there. Another choice would be to send yellow to red, and then especially if blue comes out on the lawn to give black a rush to hoop 3, red can attack and set up a break for yellow instead of going to one back and giving blue and black a clearance. But Cat's feeling the heat of yellow sitting there and doesn't want to take on hoop 3 with black, so he's going to separate. A beveled edge is not a fault if it happens with no furniture or other balls around, but she's clearly hampered by yellow, which is why this happens. So that is a mallet fault. These two are such good friends that Larry would never call a referee to watch that, but that's what you should do if it matters. Red and yellow are separated. She has a nice little cut rush to hoop 4 with blue, but I guess she didn't like the cut. But if she's not going to take that opportunity, then she should just give black a rush back to hoop 3 instead of putting blue on the other side. That probably doesn't help. I didn't hear it, but obviously black passed. Black passed again, probably wisely so, hoping that Larry will approach hoop 3 first and maybe make a mistake. These balls may be a little too far apart to do a nice drive shot with a long follow through, double tap yellow and get them both out of bounds next to each other. The shot definitely worth practicing. That's usually the last thing you want to do because it leaves the spent ball on the lawn. But since blue and black are both dead on yellow, maybe he did it on purpose. That double tap drive shot I mentioned is extremely useful. And it's legal as long as the double tap is the result of the Roquet. That's Preston Stewart over there talking to the players. I think he's keeping their clock and the board, maybe. Here comes an illustration of why I keep saying that rushing is maybe the most important skill in croquet. She needs to put blue right next to hoop 3 so that black has no trouble making that hoop and then dealing with yellow afterwards. Now she's going to try to fix this by going to red, which is interesting if she can pull it off.
I think it was blue to play there.
This is a hoop approach that you'd take on all the time in AC, but it needs to be a drive shot. Not a stop shot. So she gets an A for effort, but she's 5-ball dead, and Larry is licking his chops. Yellow is 4-hoop 4. Larry has a 4-hoop lead, so he's just going to try to keep black from setting up. I think they're talking about first block. And he wants to keep black from setting up, but not give it a first block. And at some point, he's got to stop managing her deadness and go score some more hoops.
complaining. You be playing with me. Yeah, you. What's it? Oh, you do that. I can tell you. I heard it calculating this morning.
Now it gets interesting on a couple of levels. The crush is a mallet fault wherein the mallet, the ball, and the upright of the hoop or the stanchion are all in contact at the same time. Bob Kroger's high-speed camera work has demonstrated that a lot of times when we think it's a crush, it's really just a double tap. But I think Larry managed to do a real crush shot. That's the first level. The second interesting thing is that in trying to get black far enough away that it wouldn't have an easy hoop shot, he put it out of bounds on a croquet shot. He doesn't get another shot. His turn is over. And the balls stay exactly where they are.
Well, shouldn't have taken that shot. How did he get black out?
Somebody watching figured out there's a problem. You're allowed to intervene when a player takes an unearned croquet shot after making the wrong wicket. Intervention is appropriate here, not because it's an unearned in continuation shot, but because he played out of turn. His turn was over when black went out. The appropriate dignitaries were consulted, and I think they still got it wrong. If they were calling the mallet fault, which is highly unlikely, then that's where the balls go. If they were correcting the unearned continuation shot, or rather the out-of-turn error, then black goes back on the boundary and yellow goes where it stopped when it sent black out. I'm sure my analysis is going to make somebody mad, and I hope they get mad enough that they comment and we figure out what they were actually talking about. He can get away with this because blue and black are both down on red. But he won't be able to leave it there long enough for yellow to take advantage of it before black makes three, so he certainly could have sent red to one back at that point. That's a good call on Cat's part. This is a very hampered shot. Red had been marked and lifted because of double banking, so now he's going to move on. With red and yellow together out on the lawn down by one back, she might have thought about just taking off, making that hoop, and then attacking with black. But as usual in first and second flight, she's focused on making a hoop or two at a time with her balls. Not so bad, but there is another rules kerfuffle coming up, so stay tuned. Okay, so what's wrong here? She appropriately picked up the blue clip, but black should be ball in hand on blue. So the striker ball is playing from a misplaced position. The limit of claims on that is the opponent's next shot. If somebody noticed, they should have put blue and black back. Black's in contact with blue and has two shots to make the hoop. Instead, they move on to this situation. Now black should be ball in hand on blue. Somebody noticed that something was wrong. There was a lot of walking back and forth and discussing. And when I called Kat to get permission to put this video up, she remembered all of this, and I hope the video will clarify for her what actually happened. Dignitaries, discussion,
15 minutes, strike.
and maybe some disremembrance. That may not be a word, but it is a song title. And distraction, because now she goes back and commits a wrong ball fault. But because there was any ball out of position at the time of the fault is condoned, and you just put them back in the right position.
That's the second rush of black.
That was the wrong ball. Put it back and play black. A lot of penalty. Put it back and play black. You're playing black. You put.
This is complicated, and to their credit, it looks like Dick Scherf and Larry Lynch got it right. You need to read the rule about misplaced position.
Yes.
This is a championship level play. She's put blue where after she makes 5 with black, she can rush it down to one back and use those 2 opponent balls at one back to make 6 and get her break going. It's exactly what she should do. No rush to hoop 6, no problem. Just give it back to blue, which is for hoop 5. Now, she either has to give blue a dolly rush to 5 on red or put black up by hoop 5. But since black is 3-ball dead, she wants to get it clean. And has no problem doing so. And now, because yellow is dead on black, she can set up in front of 1 back. It's probably not a bad idea, because if she had put black up by hoop 5 and yellow hits in, yellow would have had all 4 balls pretty close to its hoop 4. Of course, by the same line of reasoning, black should have gone on the north boundary with a line shot on 1 back instead of setting up. Uh-oh, that leaves yellow a real chance to build a 4-ball break, or at least make 4, get blue out of hoop 5, and then send red to black at 1 back. Looks like he may be going for the second option.
I heard that this film is going to be subpoenaed.
Game time. Yellow is first of last.
That's the stripe game, not this one.
Make them be afraid of me.
Now, he could split red to hoop 6, go to blue, and get his 4-ball break going, because black is sitting out at 1 back. But again, he's going to take the conservative line and just try to move blue and maybe make 5. And now a true dignitary called in to watch and be sure that if he moves blue, it's by hitting the ball, not just the hoop. And if he does move it without roqueting it, then he's responsible for his position. That would give him a wire, and if this were not blue's hoop, it might give him a lift that he would want to use. I'm sure she's going to try to put blue in a spot that gives her a double target on red and yellow. No cigar. And remember, black's still sitting by the side of one back, which is red's hoop. Who's going to prevail in this exchange of lost opportunities? So first she thinks about wiring black from red behind the hoop, and then realizes that yellow can get to red before blue can do anything about it, and then red will take advantage of its one back pioneer. So to the boundary she goes. Yellow's for 5, dead on red. He's down by one hoop. It would be a lot easier to set up for 5 than give red a rush to one back, which looks like what he's trying to do.
There were a lot of stuff.
No, you're not the last ball.
What is the time,
That was
please?
the other team. You're at 5 minutes.
Now it makes more sense.
Take that shot over.
She has a right to retake the shot. Or he does. Okay, you have the right to retake your shot. Your yellow shot.
Yeah, I thought
He only has the right to retake that shot if he made that decision based on misinformation verified by the opponent or referee or the board keeper. I can't tell what made him think time had run out. Dick Scherf obviously has information that's not apparent on the video. Presumably they stopped the clock to have this discussion, and now he's going to put it back and do something different. I initially thought that this shot was way too gentle, but then I realized the problem was not that it was too gentle, but that it hit the hoop and gave Larry that opportunity. He's set up to make a bunch of hoops, so she needs to hit something here. Score is tied. They each have a ball for 6 and a ball for 1 back. And there is no deadness. I was expecting him to split blue to 1 back while he got behind red, but blue's the danger ball, so maybe he just leaves it there, makes 6 off red to go 1 up, and then hold on for dear life in last turns.
Larry, 1 minute, 30 seconds.
He thought about setting up to score more hoops and then decided we're going to be in last turns. Let's play the end game here.
We're triple banked on this court.
Again?
Yeah, again. So I guess we'll probably go to, it looks like 9 is open.
Alright, we'll go somewhere.
You gotta finish filming this.
Need this game to end.
That's okay.
Larry, yellow is first ball.
I'm gonna call a timeout just for a second.
Sure, that's okay.
You get 66. Oh, by the way, yeah, Dick.
Yellow is first last.
Blue is for hoop 6, black is for 1 back, so he's going to have him where neither has a long shot on its own hoop. The only fly in the ointment here is that blue can take the long shot on red, which is out in the middle of the lawn, but red will have time to get to a boundary before black can take the shorter shot. So down by 1 hoop, second ball in last turns. Blue can either shoot at red, try to tie through hoop 6, or join up with black and let black try to make 1 back to tie. I think that's the right choice. No time for this at the end, so I want to thank the USCA and Stuart Price for sponsorship, Paul Newbecker for the videography. Give us a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. More to come. This is a championship level shot.
It's last turn, but if she makes this, it's going to go around again.
In this hoop to tie. But it's not to be. That was a good game. Larry Lynch by 1 over Cat Robertson. Larry went on to win second flight, and these two better not be in second flight next year.